January. One of the 2 times a year where gamers get to play catch up on a slew of game releases that came out over the course of the fall/winter season. There's a bit of time yet until we got our hands on the likes of Resident Evil 7, Horizon Zero Dawn and Mass Effect Andromeda, so in the meantime, why not try some of the gems that you may have glossed over? Today, I'm going to talk about Transistor, the second game by Supergiant Games. Released back in May of 2014 for PS4 and then later on for PC and iOS, Transistor is a strategy action game with a fair bit of role-playing elements thrown into the mix. You control Red, a famous singer in the city of Cloudbank. After an attempted assassination went wrong, she comes into possession of the very weapon that was designated to kill her, the Transistor. Upon picking it up, Red loses her voice and the sword seems to have absorbed the soul and the voice of the man whose chest it was buried in, thus becoming your guide and your narrator for the journey to reclaim your voice and take down those who tried to kill you. The gameplay is an evolution on the game that preceded it, Bastion. The action takes place from an isometric view as Red moves from area to area, killing the process as well as accessing terminals and finding out more about Cloudbank as you progress. Combat is what sets this game apart from others in the same genre. As long as Red's action bar is full, you can pause the game and enter a prep mode where you can plan out your exact movements, abilities on the enemies you are facing. Once you are happy with your actions or you've used the bar up, you can re-enable the action and watch Red perform those moves on the enemies in the hope that you wipe them all out in one go. This sets up a fun minigame where you plan the best way to clear as many enemies as possible and then either clean up the remaining enemies in real time or dodge their attacks until your action bar's full again. As you get further in the game, you come across new skills and other items which can augment those abilities. The key to being successful is finding the best combination of skills and augmentations, and it's one that can change depending on the enemies you face. Speaking of enemies, Transistor introduces relatively few units to face, but they do gain new skills and ramp up in difficulty as the game goes on. Weeds can appear from the ground that constantly heal surrounding enemies, and other units can render their allies invulnerable until defeated, so the game really forces you to think about what enemies to prioritise in combat. Overall, I feel like the game does give you enough of a challenge, but people who learn the nuances of their abilities can mostly take the enemies out in 1 or 2 pause movements. It really encourages experimentation, and none of that is ever spelled out for you. I think the last thing that I need to mention about this game is also one that pulled me in the first place, and that's the art direction. Supergiant was highly praised for the art and music of Bastion, and in my opinion, Transistor takes this to another level completely. I get a futuristic 1960s vibe from this game, and the pseudo watercolor art style really sets it apart. On top of that, the music is unique and I was captivated by it just by the revealed trailer alone. It utilises harps, mandolins, accordions, alongside electric guitars and synth pads. It just creates this old school post-rock vibe. I really dig it, and I do have the soundtrack on my phone that I listen to quite often. Overall, Transistor is in my opinion an absolutely fantastic game. The art, the music and the gameplay all come together brilliantly, and I feel like this was a game that was slept on by most people when it came out. Obviously 2.5, almost 3 years after its launch, and I'm trying to recommend this game to you guys, but it is relatively cheap and it can be completed in around 6 to 8 hours overall, so it's definitely one that you could probably play in between some of the launches that are coming out over the next weeks and months to come ahead. Well, that's it for now. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of these, and let me know in the comments if you pick Transistor up and what you think of it. I'd love to have a conversation about this because there's not been many two people that I've met that really have played Supergiant's games, both Bastion and Transistor. They do have a new title coming out this year called Pyre, and I will probably be picking that up as well. Anyway, I've been CJ, have a good week, peace.
Okay, it's childish, can't be no homegirl, drop it like the NASDAQ. Move white girls like this coke up my ass crack. Move black girls, cause man, fuck it, I'll do either. I love pussy, I love bitches, dude, I should be running Peter in Adidas with some short shorts. B-O-O all over me, my green is where it's supposed to be. Your green is in my grocery. This Asian dude, I stole his girl and now he got that Coachy beat. My dick is like an accent mark, it's all about the